Katie, my voice is low as ever, so I can't. So I don't know how do we do it before?
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay. So I just press it?
I think you just speak right into it. I don't think you have to press
Uh,
anything. And you can also do that so you can like kind of hold this like pointing back towards them and then just hold that up to your mouth.
oh, okay. So I'm holding. Oh, just hold this like that.
I can hold this for you too if you want.
Okay.
But I think just speak into there.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, so they can hear.
So I can start, right? Whew, this is so emotional. This is very. Hi, Monique. How are you? This is very. Can you hear me? Do I need to put it like close to my mouth? Thank you, everybody, for coming today. We really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for coming to support my family. This has been a rough journey, and I am so emotional today because just hearing about the findings of what the medical examiner stated that happened to Denise. It's not so much of what they said happened. It's the nonchalant attitude of it was just a pulmonary embolism, right? It frustrates me because we're receiving answers, what they think are answers, but we have more questions. Every time they open up their mouth, my family have more questions because the findings is clearly a systematic issue. She was failed by the system. Queens Hospital is part of that system. And for them to just say, oh, see, it was natural. It was a natural cause. It's a slap in the face to all the parents and all the children who lost a loved one due to a blood clot. Because we clearly know that these things can be prevented. So what are the steps that your system is taking to prevent this? You can give a finding, but you can't give a solution. This is America. Right, you can give us a finding, but you can't give us a solution. My niece, 29 years old, Denise Williams, 2 babies, a mom, 10 brothers and sisters who cry, like everyone have their own moments. So your findings literally like killed her all over again. My sister is continuously hurting. Her children are hurting. I want to thank everybody for coming. Every time I turn around, every time I think about the people that I speak to on behalf of my family through emails, through Facebook, through Instagram. I'm so grateful. Bruce, you know I love you so much. Anytime I have a question, you're always there. Katie, you're always there. Mima, I appreciate you so much. Mima, I call her my Beth. I will tell you the story about my little white Beth, my little white lady Beth that I had in my life, but you remind me of her so much, and I really believe like you're her earth angel, and I appreciate you all. I'm gonna ask my niece Belinda to come up and speak, and then following her, we're gonna have Bruce. Can you take this?
Hold this for you. Yes. You just have to hold it close.
Okay.
I'm not going to stay on for long.
Closer to your mouth.
I'm not going to stay on for long, but I would still like to say justice for Denise.
Justice for Denise.
Once again, justice for Denise.
Justice for the needy.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say thank you to every single one of you guys that has been here from day one, that's been coming out to support us, that's going to continue to support us. I just want to say, racial biasness when it comes to black women in America, it is at its all-time high. It has to change. It has to change. It has to change for Denise Williams. It has to change for Rose. It has to change for any woman in America that's not getting the treatment that they deserve. My reason of me standing here today is for my two nieces and any other woman, any other black mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, man or woman that may have lost a child due to them being neglected in a hospital that's neglecting black women in America. My goal right now and going forward is to open a foundation for my sister, addressing issues being neglected, postpartum depression, mental illness, how to carry a baby. Thank you, good. Seriously, it's not a laughing matter, but it's a matter that I feel like we have really become family. I haven't met these people a day in my life, but yet they have come here faithfully.
Yes.
Every time we have a rally, they're here. You don't have to know a person forever, but you can make a friend in a day. And I want to say thank you again, and to everybody that has lost a child or that just going through anything right now. We're here for you. We're here for you. Black life matters. Black mamas matter. Black people matter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, niece. I appreciate you so much. I know my sister Linda said that she doesn't want to speak today, and I understand. But do you want to talk? This is just it's so raw. It's really raw, and it's so hurtful. But my family, we're getting through it. We're going to get through this. We're going to continue to fight. We know this is our fate. This is a lifelong commitment, a lifetime commitment with my family. The next person I'm going to ask to come speak is Bruce. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all. Oh,
You
hell
wanna-
no. I know y'all ain't come out here with that type of energy today. Nah, we not doing that. I said peace, y'all.
Peace.
Let me get a justice for Denise real loud, please. Justice for Denise. Justice for Denise.
Justice for Denise.
Justice for Denise.
Justice for Denise.
Yeah, let it be heard for the Klan back here. Y'all should have seen how deep they were this morning for a peaceful protest, wasting my tax money. Talk about it, right? We're gonna talk about it. We came out here to stand in solidarity for Denise and her family. We gotta advocate for them.
Yes,
Say that again. We gotta advocate for them.
we have to advocate for them.
Because that's what community does.
Thank you, God.
We are the community. We need to bring justice. They're not gonna bring it for us. We can't depend on them to bring us justice. We gotta call them out.
Yes.
This isn't just a pulmonary embolism that happened to Denise.
Right. Say that again.
This is not just a pulmonary embolism that happened to Denise. Y'all ain't gotta worry about us. The real criminals are inside.
Exactly.
This is a perpetuated cycle that goes on within this medical system. If Denise were being properly evaluated, she would be here.
Yes.
Yes. Say it again.
If Denise was properly evaluated, she would be here.
Yes.
We see this way too often. This is way too common. What was Denise being given?
We don't even know that.
She came in here for postpartum depression.
Yes.
That's the help she was seeking. Now we're hearing it's an embolism. Oh well. She has 2 kids that she left behind. That responsibility is being pushed onto the family. We know they taken care of out of love, out of community.
Amen.
Because we gonna be here too.
Yeah.
We gonna make sure they right.
Yes.
We gonna make sure they're protected and being taken care of. We need to put a system in place that helps us.
Yes.
This system is not designed to help people like us. We've seen that. We're tired, y'all.
Yes.
Very, very tired of having to keep coming up here and advocating when we should just be receiving quality care. We're not even given the standard of care.
Nope.
No.
They treat us like dirt. We're not gonna stand for it. We pay good money just like these white folks.
Yes.
We pay our fares. We pay our taxes. This system's supposed to be put in place for us, to take care of us, to help us, to keep us stable. Yet we're thrown to the wolves. Have y'all received any type of help from the hospital?
No. No, we have not.
Nothing. What have they done to take care of y'all mental health
Nothing.
after such a traumatic loss?
Nothing.
What are they doing for the children?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. And that's the problem. That's what we keep seeing. Ain't y'all tired of this?
Yep.
Come on now, I know y'all ain't coming here with that type of energy. Ain't y'all tired of this?
Yes.
Like I said last event, we're gonna keep coming out here. Until Denise gets justice. Until Amber gets justice. Until Shamani gets justice.
Yes.
Until Kara gets justice.
Yes.
Because this is what we have to do. This is what community looks like. This is what happens when we take up for each other, when we defend each other, when we love each other. There's more power in us.
Yes.
I said there's more power in us.
Yes.
We're going to keep standing in solidarity with Denise's family. Yet again, I'm very sorry that this is happening to y'all. We're going to take care of y'all. We're going to support y'all. We're going to be here for y'all. Anything that y'all need. All right? So, I do want to call one of my brothers up.
He's laughing. Yes. Amari.
Please give a welcoming applause for Amari. Woo! Yes! Amari!
All right. Oh.
This is it? We good? All right, awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We love all of you guys. The reason why I'm saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening is because we are in Queens right now. But community, family, is worldwide. It's everywhere, right?
Right on.
So as we stand here in Queens, we know, we got brothers in Trinidad, we got brothers in Haiti, we got brothers in Africa, we got brothers and sisters in Europe, we got brothers and sisters all around this world. fighting. So it's tough is not even the right word. As individuals, you know, there's going to be times where we're struggling and we can't do it no more. We can't fight. We don't have anything left in us. There's no more tears. We're just tired, right? Especially when you're dealing with, you know, it's a situation like this where, you know, you're grieving and you're not receiving answers. But with that said, always know, you know, that there is somebody out there fighting for you and somebody that'll hold you up and pick you up and to make sure that this fight continues. And again, you know, there are definitely power in numbers.
Yes.
Community it's a blessing. And you know, we don't really, especially nowadays, we take it for granted, especially in a world now where they push so much individuality and do it by yourself and move away from family and seek finding and all that good stuff on your own. You know, it always comes back to the family structure, the family dynamic, and the community that you build within that dynamic. But maternal health, this maternal health crisis, the healthcare system, the education system, the jail system, they're all systems of oppression that have been put into place to make sure that they destroy the black and brown family.
Yes.
And that's just the world that we live in. So we, as people, spend years, decades, centuries jumping through these hoops and trying to make sure that we keep our family on the straight and narrow, and making sure that, you know, we're building and we're doing the things that we need to do to, you know, make sure that we don't fall victim to these systems. But unfortunately, you know, there's so many potholes, eventually you might hit one, you know? But that is what we're here for. And I say that to say that as we move through this world, it's really becoming more structured on a capital society. So it's really, middle class is over.
Yes.
Middle class is over. So we gotta understand this for all our white supporters and all our Asian supporters and just everybody else. Like, you know, they're coming for y'all too. You know? So we gotta make sure again that we stand in solidarity, not just racially, but culturally. And what I mean by culturally is people who have the same mindset as you, the same people who have the same values as you, the same morals, the same ethics, right? That's how we really are gonna be stronger and last longer. So with that said, and again, we all have gifts, talents.
Yes.
Please seek them out.
Yes.
Please make sure that you are doing the best that you can to find who you are as
Yes.
a person once you start stripping everything down. Not just being a mother or a father or a teacher or an educator or whatever your job title is. Serve your people. You can help your family. You can serve your community in the proper way. So with that said, I brought something out for you guys. I love you, family.
Yes,
And
let
again,
us
we're
see.
going to be here every single time you
Thank
guys
you,
have a
Maureen.
rally, because we are a community. The same way that you guys helped me out through my struggles and my family struggles, I have to make sure that we do the same for you all. So just give me 2 seconds.
Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my God.
There you go. I'm gonna give this to you, Mom. You got your hands full.
I'll hold the mic for you. I'll hold the mic.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So this is for
Oh my
Portsmouth Made
God.
of the Knees for
That
you guys,
is
family.
so
We love
nice.
you. No problem at all. No problem at all. This is how we help work together. So we all, like I said, we all have different gifts. We all have different avenues that we can take to make sure that we are supportive of each other. So please find them. Please, guys, this is the only way that we are really going to be able to start moving and pushing this culture forward and start
That is
making
beautiful.
sure that you know, that we're really working together in solidarity, guys. So
Thank you so
again,
much.
I love y'all, family. Thank y'all so much. I really, really, really appreciate y'all. And again, let's use our gifts, use our platforms to push this epidemic oh, excuse me, not even to push this epidemic, excuse me, but to break down this epidemic, right, and push our culture forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That portrait is so, oh God, it's so beautiful.
That is so nice.
That is absolutely gorgeous. The next person I'm gonna have come up, Bruce just mentioned, he just asked the question, he said, is Queens Hospital or the system that failed my niece helping my family with with therapy? And the answer was obviously no. Well, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for Dr. Shawnee. Thank you, God, for her. Thank you for her. Because today, she is coming over and we are having a group therapy session. So we are grateful to Dr. Shawnee. We appreciate you so much. And she is going to come up and speak.
Johnny!
I don't think you got to put something. I'll hold it.
All right, I love that you got me. Greetings, family. Greetings, family. Greetings to y'all out there, too. Oh, goodness. So she bumped me up to doctor. I am not a doctor. But that's in the future. You just spoke into it. So, first and foremost, I'm a mama, right? I'm a woman with a womb that produced children. I'm looking at my sister Denise because your womb produced 10 children? Linda, I'm sorry. Lord, it's Denise too, right? Lord, no accidents. We speak her name. There she is. Her energy is covering us. She's pushing us. Linda, you pushed out 10 babies. Thank you for your womb. 11. All right. I'm like, you didn't want to rob you. What the time? 11 babies. Thank you. You put your life at risk every time you did it. And you might not have known that, but the system wasn't built for our wombs to push life out. It just wasn't, right? So I thank you for that. You are my sister for life. I thank you for that. And I thank you for saying yes to healing. Because some of us are attached to our trauma. You want to work through yours so that you can heal and live another day. So Denise's life is not in vain. She wants her mother to be well. Yes. Trust and believe. She wants her mother to be well. So family, I'm not going to stay long. I'm going to talk about stuff that I don't necessarily talk about when I'm doing rallies like this or gatherings like this. I'm going to talk about what we can choose to do, what we are doing, but I'm going to put a name on it that's African-centered. There's such a thing that's there's called a thing, and I think it's part of Kiswahili language called Imbonji. And Imbonji is a gathering of people to address conflict in the community. And Imbonji is a gathering of those who are partly responsible for it, those who have been impacted by it. Now we call it truth and reconciliation and restorative justice. This shit has been around longer than the beginning of time. This is not new. It's just that white systems make you put new spins on stuff and evidence-based this and that. We rob and commandeer other people's stuff and we call it something different. This has been around since the beginning of time. And Imbonji is needed with the administrators of this hospital, those nurses on duty, those who clean the floors and change the bedding when Denise was in the hospital, to give answer and to hold account for what they did and did not do. If we were really community, they would have immediately wanted to come to the table and talk to the family about what happened. Instead of waiting for an autopsy to say, see, we didn't do it.
Exactly.
We didn't do it. We're not responsible. Box checked. We're not accountable. Don't sue us. We didn't cause that. It was her body. Well, in an Imbonji, it's the body of the community that's responsible for what happens and what doesn't happen to our citizens. So we didn't have an Imbonji. We had a system where the medical examiner gets the final say, the box that gets checked, and my daughter passed due to a birth-related pulmonary embolism. But she passed because the community, which is the hospitals and everything, by design, if it really operated the proper way, she would have never passed from that. In the hospital, they didn't do the proper testing on her legs or her body. They did use, I think, sonogram. I don't know what they used, but it wasn't the proper equipment to determine whether she actually had clots or not. So Denise and Shamani and others should still be here. So it's a damn shame that when she got in there, they didn't check her thoroughly because she just had a baby to make sure that she was all right from head to toe. So the box check and that medical examiner's report doesn't mean shit as far as I'm concerned because they didn't do her right and do her justice.
Thank you.
She came in there because of postpartum depression, but they should have still done a battery of tests to make sure she was good. And they didn't. They failed her. So then Bonji has not happened, and the proper care did not take place. So we need to be out here every time we can get out here so that we can talk about that and hold them accountable. We're doing them a service. So they don't have to be dealing with families over and over again because they're not doing their jobs. So I just wanted to say that. The other thing that I wanted to say is that trauma is insidious, right? It'll sneak up on you and rob you of your life, rob you of your voice, rob you of your well-being. Family, do not be out here engaging in traumatic conversations without self-care. You do nobody justice if you don't take care of your mind, body, and spirit. So today I can talk about the injustice of the system. I've done that. But I want to make sure our community is good. So after this, we're going to do some healing work. Yeah. What will you do? What will you do to release what was talked about? Not release Denise, because we have her forever etched in our hearts, but release the energy of thinking about somebody traumatically dying, a system not taking care of them, day after day after day, talking about this, rallying around this. More people have died. More women have died since Denise has passed due to the inadequacies of this system. We have to take care of ourselves. We're not human shock absorbers. We are human beings that feel, and we hope you deal so that you can heal. Y'all hear me? Feel, deal, and heal. Because this shit is too much for us to be absorbing all the time. So, Linda, we going to do our work today? Yes. We going to do our work today? Family members, I hope the brothers come too. I know you may not have been scheduled, but come so we can do our work today because we can't keep doing this. We really can't. We don't do Denise or Shamani or Kira or Amber any justice being unwell inside of this work. In order for us to fight another day, we need to be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically well. And that's all I got to say today for now. We're going to talk later. All right, love y'all.
Well, we appreciate you so much. This next person that's going to come and speak, a young lady had tagged me on Facebook. And not Facebook, on Instagram, and I had received a DM, and she said, "Do you know who name you're tagged in, like you're under this person?" And I was like, "No," and she was like, "Well, you need to hit him up." And so what I did was before I sent him a DM, I went to it's for Kiara, for moms, right? And I listened to the story, and I said, "Oh wow, I remember seeing this on the news." And so I immediately sent him a DM, and he responded, and I was so grateful that he responded with care, with concern, and with the willingness to help. And he's not even from our state; like he flew all the way here to support the cause, and we appreciate you so much, Charles. Thank you so much for getting on the plane to come here and support the cause.
Look, Bruce has been out here in these streets. He saw he flows with this thing, right? Bruce is good with it, man. Look, I've been trying. But in all sincerity, I'm just, it truly is my honor to be here. And I'm so glad, God makes no mistakes. God makes no mistakes. And for me, my heart was extremely heavy on the plane this morning. Because I thought back upon the 5 years that I've been doing this. The 5 years that I've been standing in solidarity with families all over this country, fighting to make sure that families, and particularly mothers, get the justice and get the care that they deserve. But what I want to start with, and the thing that touched me most when we first reached out and shared Denise's story, is I want everybody to understand is that Denise did the strongest thing a person can do.
Yes.
She did the strongest thing a person can do, and that she reached out for help. She reached out for help. In a time, in a place, in a day where people who reach out for help don't often get looked upon favorably. And still knowing that she sought help over again. It was that a black mother expressed her concerns, reached out for help, was dismissed, denied, and by the time they finally did something about it, it was far too late. It was far too late. No longer. Not on our watch. And first and foremost, I have to thank the community. Thank you all for standing in solidarity. Some of you all were birthed into this family. Some of you all have showed up voluntarily. And I want you to know that I appreciate you. Denise, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you all. I know what Bruce gonna do every time.
Show up.
I know what Amari gonna do every time.
Show up.
I know how Shawnee's gonna pull
Show
up.
up.
With the force of nature that she is. And so all of you understand that this is not a moment. This is a movement.
Yes.
This is not a moment, this is a movement. And I promise you, I
Yes.
promise you that I don't know Al Sharpton shit. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't here just because when it's flying, whatever. We are here to stand in solidarity until there's justice.
Yes.
And let me be clear, this is another very important point. It's not justice as the system sees fit. It is justice as you and the family see fit.
Yes.
There's a difference. There's a significant difference. There's a difference. Right? And we will be on this road with you until that justice is served.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And I understand that there is nothing that I can say that will take that pain away, that will fill that void in your heart, but know that there are people who are committed to this work, who wake up every single morning. Our feet hit the floor, and the first step we take is putting our foot on the necks of a system that for centuries has denied black mothers and families the care that they deserve. And here's the reality of the situation. A mother walking into a hospital to give birth to a healthy baby and to survive, to raise that family, should be a fundamental human right.
Yes.
We're not asking for anything special. We're not asking for our 40 acres and a mule. We are simply asking to be looked upon as human.
Yes.
To be seen and viewed in the same manner that you would see your family and your mother and your sister. And here's the reality, and this goes for you, Mr. 5-0, Mr. whatever you want to call it. The reality of the situation is if you're a civilian and you have biases, right? And you have some, right? And deal with them. Or you can deal with them when you meet your maker. That's your choice. But if you are a public servant, if you are a medical professional, and it is your job to protect the lives of other people, then you have two options. You need to take steps to address those biases and those isms, or you need to find something else to do.
Yes.
Hey, Bruce, what did Craig's Pop say on Friday? The post office is always hiring.
Yes, they.
Straight up.
And they
Right?
Crazy.
And so, we're going to say it loud and proud. We're going to make sure they feel us on 3. Justice for Denise!
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 Thank you so much to the family. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I love you all. We're going to keep applying pressure.
Thank you so much. My family we are elated. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I don't even know what else to say, but we are just totally 100% grateful for all the love, for all the people who come out and support us, Katie, thank you for all your information that you pour into me. I appreciate you so much. And I want you to come up and speak, please.
Am I the last one?
Okay. I like it.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Season. Sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Katie Season. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm an organizer with the Movement to Birth Liberation. I'm also a nurse whistleblower. I was working at SUNY Downstate Medical Center in Central Brooklyn, which serves over 90% Black patients, when 2 mothers died in a 4-month span in 2017 of preventable causes. And what makes me unusual as a healthcare worker in New York City is not that I've personally experienced and witnessed preventable deaths. What makes me unusual is that I've taken professional risks, and then I realize that the lives of my patients are more important than my
Say that.
professional
She wrote.
and that it's worth taking risks that may save people's lives.
Wow.
When the worst thing that could happen to me is a mark on my license.
Sheesh.
There's, I think, maybe one other nurse in the crowd here today, and both of us were pushed out of our jobs for speaking out against medical racism in New York City's hospitals. And so I want to thank everyone so much who came out today, and I just want to call out to the people who aren't here today, who work in New York City's hospital systems, who make 6 figures working in New York City's hospital systems, that they see providing inadequate, dangerous, violent care on the daily, and you say and do nothing, and the fear of professional consequences is real, but the deaths and the trauma that happens when we don't are realer and are more important, and where we need to have our focus. So I want to call every OBGYN who works in this city to come out and protest with us. I want to call every labor delivery nurse, every postpartum nurse,
Stand up.
every psych nurse,
Stand up.
every ER personnel. We know that the state and the city has not given us the resources we need to provide safe and adequate care, and we cannot just silently let people die as an outcome of that. We need to lift our voices and make demands until our hospitals and our healthcare infrastructure has what it needs to provide excellent care to every single person who comes through those doors. Because I'm not a public speaker.
You're doing good. Take your time.
Going forward, I just want to echo what Shawnee was saying. The words I used. Okay, remind me the words you used. I want to lift up Mbonji again. I want to lift up people who've suffered and who've done things wrong, coming together to work towards solutions, to use an elucidative process that says something bad here has happened, but no individual is necessarily a bad person. Let's work towards healing. Let's work towards repair. Let's work towards coming together as a community. The kind of the kicker with the crisis we face in New York is that we're going to need to use the government. We're going to need the government support to make our way out of this, and it's the government that has largely created this crisis. And so sitting with Mbonji, sitting with Truth and Reconciliation and reparations are necessary for us to walk out of this. In New York State, we have a bill that would initiate a process of reparations at the state level for New York's participation in slavery and segregation. I encourage everyone to support that. And then also, if you see these full papers flying around, they have a QR code to get more involved with the ongoing organizing that we're going to be doing. We know that public hospitals reflect the will of the public. And when people die because we have let our infrastructure crumble to this extent. It is on us as a community and as a public to support those families, and it's a piece of legislation we're working on so that families would receive reparatory payments when they've lost loved ones to pregnancy-related causes.
Yes.
And something like that has never been written before, it's never been passed before, and if we're able to do it in New York, it's going to be because folks like you are out here protesting and following up with your representatives for the real structural change that we need so that this never happens again, and so that Denise's legacy, Shimoni's legacy, Amber's legacy, Kira's legacy can live on. And I'll add DeCheka and Tanisha Walker, the two women who died at SUNY Downstate when I was working there. Thank you so much for your time. Justice for Denise.
Justice for Denise.
Give it up for Katie, y'all.
So, you want me to take those? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. This concludes our rally, but we are definitely we will be back in December. We haven't selected a date yet because my family is still waiting on an autopsy report. We have received a verbal finding. Verbal. Let that sink into your spirit.
That's what y'all got after 2 months.
After 2 months of verbal, nothing on paper, nothing. We're still waiting for the actual autopsy so that my sister can get her people to review it. We're going with the system's findings. So like I said, we have more questions than answers. So we will be back here in December, again, Queens Hospital in the system, to bring awareness on what happened to my niece, Denise Williams. And before we leave, we want to shout out her name 3 times. Denise Williams! Denise Williams! Denise Williams! We will continue to fight.
That's right. Anti-blackness is a public health crisis.